Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Monday Night Raw in Chicago, Illinois. Here comes CM Punk. His hometown, Chicago. Man, you hear that, Seth? Do you hear them? That's not nostalgia. That's not some pipe-bought dream. That's Chicago. That's real. That's what you'll never have, because no matter how many times they sing your little theme song, the second the lights go out, they don't remember you. They remember me. You see, last week, Seth Rollins came out here dressed like a damn Hot Topic clearance rack, running his mouth about how I'm living in the past, how this is his era, how he built this place. Buddy, you didn't build a damn thing. You rented the house while I was gone. And instead I walked through the door, the real landlord came back to collect. You say I'm bitter? You're damn right I am. I'm bitter because guys like you have been handed the world on a silver platter and still try about respect. You prance around, call yourself the Messiah, the visionary, all those cute little nicknames to hide the fact that deep down, you know you're staying in the shadow. You can't escape my shadow. You talk about how you bled for this business, how you broke your body for these people. Congratulations, Seth. So did I. The difference is I didn't do it for corporate gold stars on Twitter or Twitter love. I did because I believe in what this ring stands for. And that's something money can't buy and you'll never understand. So at Money in the Bank, when it's me and you, one-on-one, no suits, no hype, no choir singing your name, there's going to be a reckoning because the fake prophets finally going to meet the truth you've been running from. I'm not coming to steal your spotlight, Seth. I'm coming to end your delusion. And when it's over, when the bell rings and you're lying on the back, staring at the lights, you'll realize that the best in the world is a trash phrase. It's a fucking fact. Well, ladies and gentlemen, CM Punk. Big news for Seth Rollins. Rollins wasn't I don't think Rollins was expecting that kind of response tonight, but CM Punk, Seth Rollins, same place. 2 weeks from Saturday. Next Saturday, live in Paris, France. But I want to find out who will join AJ Styles and Drew McIntyre in the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. And here comes Brock Lesnar, the Beast, is here.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring from Minneapolis, Minnesota, weighing in at 295 pounds, Brock Lesnar!
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the Beast, Brock Lesnar, the man who a couple weeks ago brutalized Mark Henry and sent him to the hospital. Okay, we're right now that we have some breaking news to announce that Mark Henry has been out of the hospital, now out of the hospital. Of the brutal attack by the Beast Brock Lesnar. And we have a little video message from Mark Henry. Here it is. Brock, a couple weeks ago, Brock, you almost had my career. So Brock, I'm Money in the Bank. I want you. Money in the Bank. Me and you, one-on-one. I don't know if Brock's accepted, but Brock's in a Money in the Bank qualifying match here. No Mark Henry tonight, but the Beast is in action tonight against El Grande Americano, Chad Gable. In Money in the Bank action, in qualifying action.
And his opponent from the Gulf of America, weighing in at 202 pounds, El Grande Americano.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Grande Americano, Chad Gable, or or what likes to be more he is now, Ludwig Kaiser. Ludwig Kaiser. But ladies and gentlemen, it's time for one-on-one action here. Might be qualifying action here, but we do know that Martin wants Brock to buy the bank now for match. Of that brutal beatdown he got the hands of Brock a few weeks ago. But will Brock Lesnar accept the challenge? I don't know. But the Beast versus El Americano right here on Raw in the men's Money in the Bank qualifier action. Fine action here. And the Beast, Brock Lesnar, same attitude as before. He was angry last week. He was angry a few weeks ago. And he's doing the same thing he did a few weeks ago. Starting off hot here, attacking the neck region of El Americano, like he did to Mark Henry. After Mark Henry tried to hit him, tried to punch him, tried to attack him. He attacked him a few weeks ago. But Mark Henry is not here tonight. But Mark Henry wants to see if Brock will respond to him next week. Respond to his challenge next week. We'll call Brock Lesnar to the ring next week on Raw, the Go Home Show. We'll be live next week on the Go Home Show. We'll be live in Paris, France for the Go Home Show Raw. You won't want to miss that show. And we'll have 2 Money in the Bank qualifying matches for both the men and women. And tonight's just 1 each. Which means there will be only 6 competitors on Raw and SmackDown on Monday Night Raw for the Money in the Bank ladder matches, which take place in just 1 week away, 1 week from Saturday. 1 week from next Saturday. From next Saturday. Streaming live on Netflix. Live on Netflix in Paris, France. And the Beast again, suplex again by the Beast, Brock Lesnar, who's not done yet with El Americano. Here tonight on Monday Night Raw on Netflix. And the Beast, Brock Lesnar, brutalizing El Americano here early on. You see Charles Robinson not getting involved with the Beast. As we saw last a few weeks ago, the Beast attacked Charles Robinson, laid hands on our official, laid hands on him. But now, we'll say the Beast, Brock Lesnar, still delivering a beatdown to El Americano in the ring. Americano in the ring again here tonight on Raw. And the Beast, Brock Lesnar, wants to go to Money in the Bank tonight. Let's go to Money in the Bank and win. And go on to Money in the Bank to become champion in the future. But the Beast, Brock Lesnar, knows that Mark Henry is coming for him. But we don't know if Brock's already accepted the challenge yet from Mark Henry. But we don't know if he's accepted the challenge from Mark Henry yet. Is the Beast, Brock Lesnar. It's the Beast incarnate, Brock Lesnar. Well, the Beast, Brock Lesnar, just delivered this beat down to El Americano early on in this matchup. Another suplex to El Americano. His neck has to be broken from those brutal attacks by the Beast, Brock Lesnar. And a Beast again. The Beast, Brock Lesnar, yet again, with suplexes to the back of the skull of El Americano here on Monday Night Raw on Netflix. And the Beast incarnate, Brock Lesnar. He snapped a few weeks ago and broke Mark Henry in half and destroyed Mark Henry throughout the arena. But tonight he's just brutalizing El Americano here tonight, with no reason here. With another beatdown again, another suplex from the Beast, Brock Lesnar, to El Americano here on Monday Night Raw on Netflix. And here we go, the Beast outside the ring is the Beast, Brock Lesnar, El Americano here now on Monday Night Raw. And the Beast, Brock Lesnar, El Americano, and a back suplex by the Beast, Brock Lesnar, on the outside the ring. To El Americano is the Beast, Brock Lesnar. And again, the Beast on our suplex to El Americano on the outside the ring, but it's the Beast, Brock Lesnar. And the Beast again breaks the 10 count here. Breaks the count 10 here on Monday Night Raw. It's the Beast, Brock Lesnar. Does not care about anyone else but himself tonight. He wants to end El Americano tonight here on Monday Night Raw. And go on to Money in the Bank We all know that the Beast Brock Lesnar may have to accept the challenge of Mark Henry for Money in the Bank, but that's only if he wins Money in the Bank. He can do that. The Beast Brock Lesnar has just proved once again he is indeed a dangerous man, and the Beast again. And the suplex to Andrade Americano is the Beast Brock Lesnar here on Monday Night Raw on Netflix. And that'll be done again by the Beast. And now she goes again on his neck. On the neck of Chad Gable. And now the Beast. Brock Lesnar. Looking for the F5. And it's a rattling F5. And the Beast is going to Paris, France. Well, the Beast, Brock Lesnar, is heading to Paris, France, and will compete. Will compete in the men's Money in the Bank ladder match in 1 week from Saturday. Well, the Beast Brock Lesnar gave a dominating performance here tonight in Chicago, Illinois. But the Beast Brock Lesnar stands tall tonight. And the Beast is on his way to Paris, France. Well, we all know that Mark Henry wants the Beast Brock Lesnar in Paris. But will we get him in Paris? We all know the Beast is now in the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. Don't know what will happen there at Money in the Bank. But ladies and gentlemen, the Beast Brock Lesnar versus is now in part of Money in the Bank and joins AJ Styles and Drew McIntyre in the men's Money in the Bank ladder match.
Here is your winner,
Well, the Beast has a message here. The Beast suplex again to our official, Charles Robinson. And another 5 to Charles Robinson is the Beast, Brock Lesnar. Mark Henry, the Beast accepts your challenge. Well, the Beast, Brock Lesnar, has accepted Mark Henry's challenge for Money in the Bank, but has laid in the hands on Charles Robinson yet again here tonight with an F5. Well, ladies and gentlemen, but here we go. Ladies, we'll face the Usos at Money in the Bank for the World Tag Team Championships. As we're going to see, the Motion Machine Guns take on the War Raiders here on Monday Night Raw.
The following contest is a tag team match scheduled for 1 fall. On the way to the ring, and a combined weight of 420 pounds, Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin, the Motor City Machine Guns.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the Motion Machine Guns defeated the DIY a few weeks ago. And then the War Raiders defeated Fraxium last week. So you forget Fraxium last week in Orlando. But tonight we're here live in Chicago. We're gonna find out who will face the Usos at Money in the Bank next Saturday. Saturday in Paris, France. And the War Raiders, ladies and gentlemen, are looking more deadly as they were before. But the War Raiders are in action tonight. And it's the Motor City Machine Guns here on Monday Night Raw on Netflix. Ladies and gentlemen.
And their opponents at a combined weight of 552 pounds, Ivar and Eric, the War Raiders.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're getting ready for this tag team match. We gotta talk to you about that brutal beatdown. Again, the Brock Lesnar attacks our official Charles Robinson, who just got F5 tonight in the ring. But Brock did accept the challenge of Mark Henry. We also know Brock's inside in order to compete in the Money in the Bank Lamb action to maybe have Money in the Bank, but we're gonna find out what happens there. We all know that he has accepted the challenge for Mark Henry's challenge at Money in the Bank for a match against the Beast Brock Lesnar. But ladies and gentlemen, what's gonna happen here? Who will be going to Money in the Bank to face Usos? We're gonna find out live right now here in Chicago on Monday Night Raw. Here, ladies and gentlemen, tag team action. Here we go. Alex Shelley and Ivar of the War Raiders. Eric and Ivar, the War Raiders, and the Motor City Machine Guns. Here on Monday Night Raw on Netflix. Where this match will go on to face the Usos at Money in the Bank for the World Tag Team Championships. Tag Team titles. Team Championships. It'll be live on Netflix. It'll be live on Netflix from Paris, France. In just 1 week from Saturday. 1 week from Saturday, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, 1 week away. 1 week from Saturday for Money in the Bank in Paris, France, ladies and gentlemen. Paris, France, ladies and gentlemen. Here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Paris, France, tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Big fight field tonight in Paris, France. Eric and I, the Viking War Raiders, and the Morrison Machine Guns here on Monday Night Raw. Who is going to go to Paris, France to face the Usos at Money in the Bank for the World Tag Team Championships. We're going to find that out here tonight on Monday Night Raw. And we all know this is a big matchup here. We all know these two teams competed in their first matchups, defeated their opponents. DIY were defeated by the Morrison Machine Guns, and Frank's team was defeated by the War Raiders. Eric and Ivar, the War Raiders. But now, we'll see what happens here on Raw. We'll see what happens here on Raw night. Both teams are ready to put on the line tonight. Ready to put on the line and head to Paris, France to face the Usos for the World Tag Team Championships. World Tag Team Championships at Money in the Bank in Paris, France. Now Ivar, big man Ivar, giant man Ivar, was not giving him a little bit of breather to move, and just smushed. Alex Shelley is Ivar of the War Raiders. And the War Raiders in Detroit right now, on Monday Night Raw, you can see there's more machine guns. Again, down goes Alex Shelley, who's down and out here. Not even a one, because that was for a 1 count here. Here we go. And Alex Shelley, the Motor City Machine Guns, here on Monday Night Raw, here on Netflix. And again, down goes Eric of the War Raiders. Goes Eric of the War Raiders. Goes Eric of the War Raiders. Well, ladies and gentlemen, would I get something here? Could we get it here? Yes, we can. Here we go. It's time for Skull and Bones by the Motor City Machine Guns. And down goes Eric. 1, 2, 3. The Motor Machine Guns face the Usos at Money in the Bank. What a match is going to be at Money in the Bank, ladies and gentlemen. What a fight is going to be at Money in the Bank. The Usos versus the Motor City Machine Guns for the World Tag Team Championships. Tag Team Championships at Money in the Bank. What a fight here. What a hard-fought battle for the Motor City Machine Guns. And it's the War Raiders here tonight on Monday Night Raw. Now watch this. All it took was one Skull and Bones to put away Ivar, and the War Raiders and the Motor City Machine Guns are going to Paris, France. Well, ladies and gentlemen, what a win for the Morrison Machine Guns. As we all know now, in just 1 week from Saturday, the Morrison Machine Guns versus the Usos for the World Tag Team Championships. What a fight that's what a match is going to be in Paris, France. At Money in the Bank. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for our third for the next. For the fight, we'll join Timmy Stratton and Shayna Baszler at Money in the Bank. And here comes the woman who I think should do it. The EST, Bianca Belair.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall, making her way to the ring from Knoxville, Tennessee. Bianca Belair.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Bianca Belair versus ladies and gentlemen, here on Monday Night Raw, the Women's Money in the Bank qualifying match. And we all know Stratton and Baszler have moved on, are a part of Money in the Bank, part of the Money in the Bank Women's Money in the Bank ladder match in Paris, France. But ladies and gentlemen, we're going to find out what happened, who will join them, who will be the next woman to join them, who will join them at Money in the Bank. We're going to find live right here on Raw in Women's Action. My Bank Women's Action. And here we go. Here goes the woman who's new here, Soruka. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we had a feeling people would be here. NXT Superstars will appear on Raw. And we all know NXT was disbanded. But we didn't know what would happen here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. But the NXT Superstars are making their way tonight. We saw NXT Superstars last week on Raw as the sign of in the team of Fraxium, Axiom, and Nathan Frazier. But tonight we're seeing Soruka here on Monday Night Raw. We also saw Stephenie vaquer as well, and she defeated Rhea Ripley on the first episode of Raw a few weeks ago on Raw. And she's facing the man Becky Lynch by the Bank. But who will be the next one to join Timothy Stratton and Shayna Baszler in the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match? We're going to find out live right now. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Money in the Bank qualifying action. Who is going to Money in the Bank? Becky, Rhea, Bianca Belair, or Soruka? Here on Monday Night Raw on Netflix. Here, ladies and gentlemen. Big fight field tonight. Money in the Bank qualifying action. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I have some breaking news. We will not have Raw will not take place next week, as there will be no enough superstars will be in the arena, be on the card, because we are going to be live in Paris, France for Money in the Bank. You won't want to miss that in just 1 week. There will be no Raw next week. There will just be the pay-per-view will be live. We'll just have the pay-per-view on this Saturday. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't want to miss what will happen, and there will be some surprises into that match, into the My Bank ladder matches then, as there were not much people were announced here tonight, but we'll see who will be the next people in the match, because there will be a match. We'll find out who will be in those matches in surprise spots at Money in the Bank. You won't miss that, ladies and gentlemen, in just a few weeks. We're just 1 week from Saturday. Money in the Bank will be live in Paris, France. As we all know, we're going to see the Beast Brock Lesnar in action as he takes on Mark Henry. We're going to see the Seth Rollins versus CM Punk for the World Heavyweight Championship. We're going to see Alexa Bliss take on Lara Valkyrie for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. We're going to see Braun Breaker defend the Intercontinental Championship against Aleister Black. And we're also going to see the Morrison Machine Guns taking on the Usos. And the Usos for the World Tag Team Championship. Also to see Bianca we're also be getting be seeing the man Becky Lynch defend the Women's World Championship against Stephenie Vaquer. The Stephenie Vaquer plus we're going to see both the men and women's Money in the Bank ladder matches. Take place. Well, who will go to Money in the Bank? Who will be in Money in the Bank? Who will win the Money in the Bank briefcases? We'll find out, ladies and gentlemen, at Money in the Bank. Find out, ladies and gentlemen, Money in the Bank next Saturday. Next Saturday at Money in the Bank, we will be going to Money in the Bank. Here we go. The EST Bianca Belair takes it down. And the EST Bianca Belair could be going to on her way here. The EST with the KOD. 1, 2, 3. Bianca Belair is on her way to Paris, France. Congratulations to Bianca Belair as she joins Stephenie Stratton and Shayna Baszler at Money in the Bank. Well, ladies and gentlemen, what a way, what a match. Here tonight, ladies and gentlemen, here on Netflix. And what a win for the EST, Bianca Belair, right here on Monday Night Raw on Netflix. Well, they go a big time match here tonight. What a fight it was. And we just saw the KOD to Sol Ruca. And Bianca Belair is heading to Paris, France to compete in the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Bianca's having the words in with the crowd here in Chicago. I just defeated Sol Ruca tonight. I'm one step closer to becoming Miss EST in the Bank. I'm not going to say anything bad about Stratton or about Stephenie Stratton or Shayna Baszler. So just know, I'll be walking in Money in the Bank, and I'll be walking out Miss EST in the Bank. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. There you have it. A little big shoes to fill. Big shoes to fill here tonight in Chicago. But ladies and gentlemen, but come up next, we got one-on-one action live on Raw. Well, ladies and gentlemen, here and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to Raw here in Chicago. And here comes the Intercontinental Champion, Braun Breaker. And he's here in action tonight. And we also see on the ringside too, Charles Robinson is back out here tonight. The
following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring from Woodstock, Georgia. Weighing in at 230 pounds. The WWE Intercontinental Champion, Braun Breaker.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Braun Breaker is in action live on Raw. And he's here in action. Here's our champion, Braun Breaker, is in action live against Logan Paul. Live next on Monday Night Raw on Netflix here in Chicago. And here comes Logan Paul, who's ready for one-on-one action here in Chicago.
And his opponent from Cleveland, Ohio, weighing in at 205 pounds, Logan Paul.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Logan Paul here in action against Braun Breaker here on Monday Night Raw. We haven't seen Logan Paul for a few months, but he's been out dealing with an injury. He's over the hands of The Miz a few years ago. But now he's back here on Monday Night Raw against Braun Breaker here tonight on the goal here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. As we are officially this next Saturday will be Money in the Bank in Paris, France. Well, ladies and gentlemen, what a match it's going to be. Braun Breaker versus Logan Paul here on Monday Night Raw, right here on Netflix. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Logan Paul versus Braun Breaker here on Monday Night Raw on Netflix, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. And Charles Robinson in the ring. We saw what happened earlier. Charles Robinson here on Monday Night Raw. He was taken out by the Beast Brock Lesnar, who accepted the challenge of Mark Henry. World Strongman Mark Henry for Money in the Bank. Well, ladies and gentlemen, big matchup here on Monday Night Raw. Here in Chicago, Illinois tonight. We got some great action here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Braun Breaker versus Logan Paul. Here on Monday Night Raw on Netflix here tonight. Logan Paul's getting brutalized here early on by the Intercontinental Champion Braun Breaker. The badass Braun Breaker. The dogs are barking here in Chicago. For Braun Breaker. Logan Paul missed an attack on Braun. Intercontinental Champion missed again on the Intercontinental Champion. And Braun Breaker takes advantage of it. And Breaker takes advantage. Braun Breaker takes advantage. Here's Braun Breaker. The badass Braun Breaker here on that Raw. Let's take advantage early on. The advantage here attacks Logan Paul early on this matchup here on Monday Night Raw on Netflix. Logan Paul and Braun Breaker. They're going to perform Braun Breaker tonight on Monday Night Raw. Here, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Braun Breaker. Here again, Braun Breaker. The badass Braun Breaker. Breaker outside the ring. And Breaker sitting in. Uh-oh. Braun Breaker and Logan Paul. Uh-oh. Breaker's fired up here. Braun's fired up here. Breaker's fired up here, folks. Braun Breaker. Spear to Logan Paul. And the spear to Logan Paul. That's it. Logan Paul's out cold. And Braun Breaker wins tonight on Raw. What a win for Braun Breaker here, folks. Here tonight. Live on Netflix, ladies and gentlemen. Braun Breaker, the Intercontinental Champion. Wait a minute. That's a challenger for next Saturday. Aleister Black. The man who faces him for the Intercontinental Championship. The IC title. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Monday Night Raw. Here comes Stephenie, the woman who faces Becky Lynch at Money in the Bank for the Women's World Championship. See what Stephenie has to say about the comments. She has something to say about what Becky Lynch had to say to her last week. Oh, I've heard that one before. You don't go here. Cute. Let's make something crystal clear right now. I didn't come here to go here. I came here to take over. Last week, Becky Lynch showed right here in this ring, running her mouth, talking about how she's the backbone of this division. How every woman should walk through those doors needs to prove themselves to the man. Becky, you must hit your head one too many times if you think I'm one of your little NXT projects who's going to kiss the ring. I didn't fly across the world and beat the best in Mexico, Japan, everywhere else just to bow down to some Irish has-been with a god complex. You say you built this place? No, you survived here. It's the division was weak enough to let you. But now you're standing in front of someone who doesn't play your little mind games. Someone who doesn't give a damn about your legacy, your merch sales, or your Twitter followers. You call yourself the man? But I fought men tougher than you. I bled for this sport in places where they don't chant your name. They just respect what you can do in the ring, in that ring. And Becky, when you step in the ring in there with me, you're not facing any another woman trying to prove herself. You're facing a killer who's got nothing to lose and everything to take. at Money in the Bank, I'm not going to I'm not just going to embarrass you, Becky. I'm going to expose you. I'm going to break the man and remind this whole company why the world has succumbed to find me. You wanted a fight, Becky? You want a fight, Becky? Congratulations. You picked a fight. Picked one with the wrong woman. Well, ladies and gentlemen, what a fight is going to be at Money in the Bank. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching Monday Night Raw. We'll see you at Money in the Bank. Good night, ladies and gentlemen. First and we'll see you at Money in the Bank.